VR chat to me is a place for people to be as creative as possible when it comes to avatar creation, world creation.
Let me see. Vrchat to me is like basically like I guess like a second family, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Generally, the things I like about VR chat is like like I said, the creation aspect of it is what I love.
Vrchat is a bunch of fucking stupid memes that no one likes, but everyone here likes them, and it's funny when it's not funny. And all my friends play this game. It's not even a good game. It's just something to play.
Like, I don't know. I have a boring life, right? I don't do nothing. I'm always at home playing games. I don't go out because you can't trust anyone out there, and they fucking backstab you. As much as here, they can't hurt me as much, right? Than outside world or whatever, you know?
I like playing it for the memes and bringing people happy times, like these guys over here.
Man, people really like this game. I wonder what that's about. Let's find out.
You're going to jail.
Oh no.
So, a VR chat review. Damn. How's someone like me going to review the Second Life VR free-to-play early access game? Well, let me tell you, I'm really not sure. I know this game isn't even finished yet, and a lot more is to come, but I think VR chat is sort of like one of those games that is already finished in a sense. Like, the game is for socializing, right? Can you do that now? Yes? Then there you go, game finished. All jokes aside, I can't wait to see what is to come to expand upon this game, but right now, I'm just going to go over what is here, and due to the nature of the game, I'll skip over graphics and gameplay, because it doesn't really apply here. But I'll go over the important stuff, don't you worry. First, let's go over VRChat itself. VRChat is a multiplayer social networking game created by Graham Gaylor and Jesse Judry. It's primarily made for multiple VR machines, but also welcomes desktop users. It's free, and it's fairly easy to get into. The game is also running off the Unity engine, which makes it not the hardest thing to run, but the optimization of the game has a lot to improve on. But I'll go over that later. The developers of VRChat from day one have been pretty great with updates and fixes, for the most part at least. But one of the biggest features this game has over other VR social spaces is the ability to upload custom avatars, Unity levels, and memes right into VRChat. The system has a few downsides, the same downsides as Second Life faces, but so far has brought in a lot of talented artists and creators to share their work on the platform. Like this one guy that just makes a bunch of models based on the Fiji water brand. One of my favorite VRChat users is probably Lolithon. He goes around dressed in various clown models, with clown makeup on each one performing different acts. And he does all this without even saying a word. I got to admit, I look up to this guy a bit. He's a talented and creative man with a dedication to boot. And I hope he never stops what he does. Just kidding, no mime's allowed. Speaking of talented bastards, let's go over the community. Teach me. Where to begin? The sheer amount of people creating and adding to the amazing world of VRChat is astounding. Amazing models and worlds in VRChat are, like, mind-blowing to me. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of scuffed, broken, and crazy models out there, but a lot of what you see in terms of models is amazing. You got people out there making the cutest, craziest, and probably the loudest anime models of all time. There's also rips of almost every old game and new game out there you could think of. Yo, Snake, shoot this thing from Dead Space, quick, before it kills us.
I can one up here. Isaac here. Stomp on you, motherfucker.
And it's not just models anymore. You got people making crazy texture edits, shaders, and, well, anything really. I'm still trying my best to learn 3D modeling and whatnot, but some people are making the craziest things in this game. You also have people like Proforce and Interflash using animation overrides to make crazy events take place. And if you really want to model like some of the people I mentioned, you could always search around some of the worlds and find a model that will suit your fancy. Speaking of worlds, there are over 1,000 VRChat worlds currently in-game, each with their own models, style, and purpose. No matter what you're into, you will find a place you can call home. You got your standard bars, grills, and outback steakhouses, but you also have places like bowling alleys, Def Run, and like jump scare maps. Pretty much got everything you want. My favorite world would probably be any place with a glider setup. Not sure how it really works, but it lets you fly around like a knockoff of Elite Dangerous. But the community just doesn't consist of people making crazy models. We also have people on the YouTube and Twitch community contributing as well.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong.
There are a lot of content creators for this game, so I'll go over whoever I can. First, let's go over YouTube. Almost all of the major YouTubers at least did one video about this game, like PewDiePie and Video Game Donkey. But my favorite has to be Jameskii's Vrchat and Shellnut series.
Excuse me? They're free.
Are you stealing my models?
The videos are pretty much Jameskii's Twitch highlights, showing off some of the funnier and crazier happenings in Vrchat. I definitely recommend giving them all a watch. Not just because I'm in them, I swear, please. Besides YouTube, you also have the Vrchat streaming community, which has a decent amount of people streaming. Most of them are pretty great and funny to watch, but they also highlight how well Vrchat works as a social space. People like PokeLaws and his friends are a great example of this. I recommend checking them all out. Hell, check out everyone on Twitch Vrchat. But sadly, out of all these things, there is one thing that Vrchat is most known for. And I really hate to bring it up in this review, but it really has to be done because it's such a big part of this game. The rise of Ugandan Knuckles.
You don't know the way.
Yes, I do.
Do you know the way?
I know the way.
You have to have Ebola to know the way.
Last year on February 20th, 2017, a gent named Gregzilla uploaded a video reviewing the great game Sonic Worlds. The review itself was pretty well made. It even had a few animation bits to keep you entertained, which honestly I really like in a video. One of those animation bits though was a small animated Knuckles that looked like pretty much like a furry meatball, which later on people used the same animation sprites to animate Knuckles saying and singing random things. But sadly this only lasted like a month, but this led to DeviantArtist Titus Flyer to creating a 3D model of a small meme ball, which she later regretted heavily. A little while after, the model was ported into Vrchat, and on December 22nd, a YouTuber by the name of Stalby uploaded a video called "You Do Not Know the Way, You Do Not Know the Way, What Do You Do Know?" It was pretty much him and his friends running around quoting "Who killed Captain Alex?" and chasing people around the map. At the time, it was pretty standard Vrchat stuff, but a few more videos were made, it got a Reddit and scored well. Then after that, it fucking blasted off. At its peak, the meme was killing it. Literally, there was a Knuckles version of everything in Vrchat, and almost all the YouTubers were clickbaiting the hell out of it. Sadly, with great fame comes great negativity. After Knuckles got on the internet's radar, some people started accusing the meme and its participants of racism. One thing I did like about the meme was the wacky models people made. Even today, people are making the Knuckles even stranger. But sadly, the meme died out, and most of the Knuckles raids ceased. Rest in peace, little guy. The most annoying thing to you from, like, all of Vrchat's history.
The trolls. Oh, the most annoying?
I don't know, the only thing that bugs me is the avatar thieves.
Broken arm.
Hackers and crashers. They're absolutely a mess right now. That's why I'm hard stuck in private worlds and friends of guests. I like going in, like, you know, public worlds and just running around having fun, but at the moment I can't.
Okay, time for the downsides of Vrchat. Let's start with performance. Like I said before, Vrchat is in beta, and at the current moment Vrchat has some bad optimization problems. In desktop you don't have this problem as bad, but in VR, if you go into a full room without models blocked, you'll be running at like 10 frames per second. Don't even try to stream like this or you're gonna have trouble. I have a decent computer with like a 1070 in it, and even I have trouble loading a room full of anime schoolgirls. Hopefully they'll find a way to fix this problem and get us good performance. But for now, you'll either have to stick to smaller rooms, or you're gonna have to block all models that aren't your friends. Speaking of models, you can do a lot of naughty things with your models to affect other players. Well, you know, besides the other kind of naughty. One of the major bad models people use a lot are crash models. Somewhere or another, the models shoot out some sort of high-tech crash effect that can shut down most people's games. This isn't a problem at all if you're in a friends-only world, but if you're in a public world, you really gotta watch out. You also have people that have models that have the ability to send image overlay on your screen, and 9 times out of 10 it's gonna be something really messed up. Before, if you didn't know who was doing it, you were pretty much forced to leave and reboot the game. But now there is an ability to instantly block and mute all users in the world. This pretty much fixed the problem, but there are still people out there doing this, so still be careful. Another thing you should watch out for if you're making 3D models is art theft, because there are a lot of people on the hunt for custom models so they can sell them for their own. I even heard recently there are some people from the 4chans who made a custom SDK to automatically download models straight from the game. The only real thing I can suggest doing for this is to keep your models on private and making sure that your models are on display elsewhere so you can prove they're yours. I'm not an expert at this stuff, so do whatever you think is best. Oh yeah, remember when I said as long as you stay in the 20k poly limit, you can upload any model you want? Well, I lied. There's a really easy way to manually set the limit to whatever you want, and for most people this is a good thing. Almost everyone in the Vrchat community will say the poly limit is set way too low, and this workaround lets a lot of really good models through the gates. But if you were to say upload a really high poly model, like Solid Snake's head 10 times, the lower end PC gamer girls will be struggling. I do not understand this part, to be honest. This stuff is really rare at best and normally will happen in a funny way, but a really toxic player can use this to their own gain. Good thing toxicity isn't the worst in Vrchat. Like, there is a good amount of assholes, but they're not really going to bother you much, because they're usually going to block you first, or you're going to block them. Just be nice to everyone, my guys, and everything will be good. Hopefully the dev team for Vrchat will tackle each one of these problems sooner rather than later, because another problem they have is taking forever to update the game. But now I hear they're getting new members, and they're still hiring for staff, so if you need a job, go see what they have to offer. Okay, I think that covers everything. What a game Vrchat is. It's definitely not perfect right now, but I do believe that it will get better with time. Hopefully it will stay on a good path, and I hope the community keeps doing what they love. Even though it's mostly comprised of furries and anime girls, but that's okay. As long as they're nice people, I don't really care. In the end, I'll definitely recommend playing Vrchat for at least a bit, so you can see what kind of crazy stuff is going on. And if you're into a fandom or something, I bet you'll find someone that gets your taste. Maybe you'll make some new friends and stop being lonely all the time. Hell, bring some friends in and mess around and have fun.
What up, you fuck shits and dipwads? This is Erock, or Erock, or shut the fuck up. Subscribe to Clone, or I'm gonna fucking hunt you down, idiot.